It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Alex Escobar here with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Or if you're walking around Milberger's, have any gardening questions, coming up to the patio, we do our best to get your questions answered while we're here waiting for the rain.
Rain.
Yes.
Rain. I'll be doing a rain dance later on today.
That's usually has worked in the past for us, so.
No, it scared people and small children. Are you working there, young fella?
I'm sorry?
Are you working? Is all your equipment working over there?
As far as I can tell, but there's a lot of background noise.
Yeah. Well, I got some too, from the highway, and I don't know, from the highway mostly. So what did those two gentlemen want?
They wanted to know where the restrooms were.
Very important.
I'm very good at telling.
Yes.
All of us are. That's the first thing we learn here.
It's a hot topic here on the patio.
It is. We know where they are. And we know what a closed door means.
Yes, we should be expecting a good amount of rain coming this afternoon.
I don't know. It's like it's moved around.
You're so optimistic.
I'm trying to be.
Yeah. Well, he's young. Yes.
I'm not sure it'll ever rain again.
I
guess I shouldn't be so pessimistic, but gosh, it's been a tough period.
Yeah, it's rained around parts. It hasn't rained overall, though. That's kind of the problem.
Yeah, and when we talk about rain, the last time at my house, which was a couple days ago, it was 0.2 of an inch.
Yeah, that's about what it was at my house.
That's about enough to dry out containers in 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's something. People should all be aware of. Just because it rains doesn't mean your containers have been watered.
That's right, especially if there's some foliage up there blocking them, or even that if there's small opening at the top, that's a limited access for the water.
I was going to say, by physics, it's a closed top almost. Just a small, even if it's 12 or 14 inches at the top, well, that's just relatively speaking, that's kind of a small
consistent
size.
With the anti-mulch people like Mark, that one of the things about limited rainfall is if you've got mulch, it's not a positive feature. And now, of course, if you've got a situation where you have adequate rainfall, that's a different thing. Usually the mulch is soaked through and the water is moving into the soil. But for now, if we wouldn't get, you'd have to get 2 inches probably to have a real penetration on a well-mulched fig tree or something.
So, yes, I advocate for mulch, but 1.5 inches at most.
No more, no less.
No more. For those very reasons, for the rains that we've been having, you just don't get enough water down. Mm-hmm. And the mulch you're watering mulch, not necessarily soil or plants.
Well, that's all you have to do to verify that is to dig into your containers or into your flower or vegetable garden, and down there 2 inches, it'll get dry. It'll be dry again.
Mm-hmm.
unless you've been able to water with the irrigation, which has been pretty tough with our restriction situation. But so, yeah, they're pretty challenging with, and it's especially hard when you put up with it in good-natured, and then you're expecting a substantial rain like we were today so far, and it hasn't come yet.
Yeah.
So it's hard not to be a little bitter about it. Bitter is not a good word, maybe.
It's supposed to be raining all day today, all morning.
That's right. We were going to have trouble driving.
Yes, I was so happy I was going to get up and be able to walk from my car to the porch here in the rain.
Yeah. I saw people out there with umbrellas.
Well,
of course, they were rolled up umbrellas.
Hope springs eternal.
But, well, just to remind everybody, we have several monarch and milkweed classes left. And the first one is the 23rd, and that's a class in Wilson County in Floresville, sponsored by the Wilson County Master Gardeners and the AgriLife Extension. That's over there in their classroom 10 area. Down the address is 1103 4th Street, and that's on a Thursday at 6 p.m.
It's on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's make sure everyone knows.
Yeah.
Thursday.
So that's in April. So that's a couple. Is that 3 weeks from now? And then the last class is on May 2nd, and that's at 9:30 a.m. And that is in New Braunfels, at their AgriLife Extension headquarters and garden. Really a spectacular facility. It's worth the visit, and it's the lead-in to their. I forget what they call the event, but it includes all the displays and activities and a number of classes. Ours will be first, and then we usually fill up, and then people take their plants and their seeds, and then they go and participate in the rest of the programming for the whole day. So
this is a whole day event right there. Okay.
Yeah, and ours is just the first one, and it's at 9:30. Get there. You can get there at 9 if you want. And that is on the 2nd, and that's at 325 Resource Drive. Mark, what did you say? That's over by Highway 46?
Yeah, it's off of Highway 46, and it's right next to a county recycling center. So you're traveling down 46, or if you have it in your phone, it's Resource Drive, correct? And then I was saying you see some of these mounds of chips and things like that, and you start looking for the road. It will be on the south side of the road, so a left or right turn, depending on which direction you're going.
And usually there's some big piles of mulch and things.
Mulch. I mean, you can't miss it. It's kind of it's the yard right next to the road, but there's something on the other side too. So it's big open lots right next door to the road.
Lots of parking and good event. No charge, of course. It's best if you can call and reserve a spot in our class, because we generally are limited to about 35 germinated milkweed plants. And this year, we're doing something real different. We're going to give everybody a small packet of milkweed seeds, it'll probably be a different selection than the one you get, the one that's germinated, but it can be native, one of the native milkweeds, and you do have to agree that you're going to report the data, the results of your seeding. We expect you to plant the seeds and then record the results and to report them to us. And we're doing a little different, too, on the reporting. We're giving everybody a addressed envelope with a data sheet inside so that they can fill out the sheet. And we're hoping everybody will do it in 3 months to let us know how the seed germinated. Now, you do have to provide the stamp yourself, but there's another alternative, too, and that is that you can, if you're more comfortable to send in the results by computer, you can do that on the internet, and my internet address is included. We're trying this data collection method because it is getting harder and harder to connect on the phones to collect the data. And then also when you call, and unless the person has been taking notes, it's hard to get the data. So here this year you get a data sheet that helps you tell you what to collect, and you can mail it completed, or you can send it on, if you're more comfortable, send it on the computer. And another thing we're doing, which is next Saturday, the Chavano Park has their Arbor Day celebration, and one of the neat events they have is they give their some of the youth awards in their accomplishments in some of the like music and art and math, and then they're also giving me a few minutes to try to get the youth, the fifth graders, excited about the monarch and milkweed situation. And we will give to each of those, our volunteer team will give each of the youth or their families that are interested in pursuing this monarch population support effort. We'll give them some seeds, stratified seeds, and then we'll also give them a envelope with the data collection information on it, and they can send it by mail, or they can, if they're more comfortable with it, some of the teachers think that they'll be more excited by the computer, the internet opportunity to report it through the internet. And if we can get them involved in excited about monarchs and milkweed, gosh, that will be very exciting to have those young people participating. The average age in our classes, our traditional classes, is about 70 years old. And here we're talking about the fifth graders. How old are fifth graders?
11.
11, 12, yes.
So
10, 11.
So and it's a good cause. If we're gonna help the monarch migration and their population survive, we need to get more milkweeds in place, and we need young people and our mature gardeners also involved. So that's what all this is about. If you have more questions, just give us a call here. What's our number here?
Our number for the show is 210-308-8867. And then I don't know if you mentioned the numbers to call to register for the classes.
I did not.
No. So the class in Floresville, I have the number. And Floresville is on Thursday, April 23rd at 6 p.m. The number to register is 830-299-0069. And then for Saturday, May 2nd, the contact is in New Braunfels is 830-620-3440.
Now that's kind of hard to sometimes to get those numbers down. Well, is there someplace they can go to check on those numbers?
Yes, these numbers are on the Millburgers website at millburgernursery.com, millburgernursery.com. And then again, to ask us any questions during the show, call 210-308-8867.
Yeah, well, that's one of the important things. If you just want to verify the phone number, just give us a call that Alex mentioned, the number here, and we'll remind you. We'll try to remind you a little later in the show too what those numbers are if you want to verify the class.
I believe the front has arrived.
The front is arriving. I'm seeing drops in front of us.
Well, I'm also watching
it has
the
kind
flag.
of a feel about it here.
Yeah, I'm watching the flag, and it moved 90 degrees, and so and chilled tremendously.
It sure did.
And just as a reminder, tomorrow is Easter, so Millburgers will be closed, as well as our show will be
You mean we don't have to do our show?
No, it will not be live, so it will be a pre-recording tomorrow. So hopefully everyone will be at home with their loved ones and listening as well to our show.
And they'll love the show, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we had a pretty good time having a conversation when we recorded the show on Wednesday.
And we predicted it was going to be raining today, and lo and behold, it's coming through.
Yeah.
But still, it's more of a promise of rain.
Yeah, I know. It's a cold, chilly wind without any kind of rain.
Or very little.
Oh, now the umbrellas are out.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
that's a good sign.
And the headgear.
And it
ladies have their scarves out.
It looks like it's not easy holding those umbrellas. The wind's pretty serious.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. We're going to take a quick break. Hopefully some more rain comes through. We're going to be right back with Millburgers Gardening.
We can talk about the... I broke down and got some more plants.
Oh, boy. Yes, we'll be right back with Millburgers Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Millburgers Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. And just as we said, the rain has come. And it looks like it might be slowing down, but...
No,
hopefully not.
I won't let it.
Yeah.
Mark and I, before we went on take the break, we talked about the zinnia situation, and we both had purchased some zinnia seeds. I estimated that there were 8 or 9 different varieties here at Millburgers on the seed packets. But I noticed that the California Giants are sold out.
Yes.
There's still cactus varieties and one called cherry and and
then there's some mixes. I got some mixes, different types of zinnias. Something it was called Persian something.
And then there was a mix of those the bright orange and red ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are.
I
really
thought about
nice.
getting that one too.
The thing about zinnias is that they this time of the year they germinate quickly, and then they get into bloom pretty seriously. I mean, 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, depending on the selection. Now, our choice of plants. I think last weekend there was some Dreamlands came in, but they're all sold out.
Yeah.
And The what is that variety? The smaller ones.
Perfusion.
Perfusion, yeah. They've got the yellow and the golden blooms.
Mm-hmm.
They make a nice. If you got containers in full sun.
Yeah, or little border areas in full sun.
Yeah, they're very disciplined. They're also pretty drought tolerant. Now they talk always include zinnias on the deer-proof lists. I've never had great luck with them being deer-proof. Have you had any experience?
Well,
with them?
they're on my deer-proof list. They're under annuals, and very few annuals. So they're the Periwinkle, the Vinca Cora series. And the zinnias.
That is truly deer-proof.
Yeah, and the zinnias. So,
well, if you,
I've hit moderate. Yeah, intermediate success. How about that?
Well, if
in some neighborhoods, what do we used to say? In some neighborhoods, they are resistant. In other neighborhoods, they are not.
And one of the issues is where the Vincas are real flexible. The deer can even walk through them and not stomp them down. Whereas the zinnias, when the deer walk through a zinnia patch, they have a tendency to break the plants off. So maybe my lack of success with deer-proof zinnias has more to do with their structure than their access or the taste to the deer. But if you've had some experience with that, let us know. Give us a call. And you might want to do a little experiment to see how they work. But so you got zinnia seed choices, and then I expect we'll get some more zinnias in this next week.
Yeah,
but
well, hopefully.
Gosh, they're selling fast.
On Wednesday, I was here in the morning just looking to see what they have in preparation for our taping, and they were making big spaces for a perennial. They had a perennial order coming in as well as an annual order coming in. And I looked from the porch. From that morning, it was 90% open. And here, where it's 90% or more full.
Yeah, this is, you talk about...
We have lots of perennials, lots of flowering perennials.
Lots of different colored lantanas, blue plumbagos.
I was going to see what
dwarf ruellia.
What type of salvia this all this red is over here.
I thought at first it was Greggii, but it looks a little less, a little more upright than Greggii.
So that's why I was interested.
Yeah.
I agree with you, and I have to take a look at one of the breaks here.
Yes.
But lots of plumbago.
Isn't that Mark's responsibility to go out there, Alex, and check out what you...
Yeah, that's my responsibility.
Or does the rain prevent that?
No, I'll go out there. I'll get wet.
Well, speaking of lantanas and plumbagos, they are both on sale here at Millburgers. A couple things. We have assorted lantana and number one, regularly $9.99, on sale $8.88. We have begonias in a 4-inch pot, regularly $179, on sale $8 for $12.
Yeah, that's a great annual shade plant.
And we have different colors and different color leaves and different color flowers.
Yes.
You know, we don't talk much about the coleus, but there's a pretty good mix of coleus over there. Very strong colors.
We used to talk about them a lot more.
You're right.
And that's one of those plants that became kind of passé, blasé, and people moved on to other things. But it's a great shade plant.
Yeah, and they're really striking colors. In fact, wasn't too many years ago, they emphasized that some of the coleus could tolerate the sun.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had much luck with that, but the coleus really do make a show in the shade. What is the other foliage shade plant that we use a lot? That it's almost the bulb. The foliage plant we use in the shade.
Like a big leaf, like an elephant ear leaf.
Yeah, a little bit, not that big, but
yeah. So, I can't remember it either right now. But the big families are alocasia and colocasia, and that's big families. But they all have that same shaped leaf.
I don't see ours. We usually have a.
It's right. Usually they keep them right around the corner and just out of our eyesight.
Well, if somebody can help us, old people, remember what that plant is, give us a call. Otherwise, it'll come to us just kind of out of the blue, normally in a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Right before the break.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the break comes.
Yeah, absolutely. But yes, lantanas, begonias, petunias are on sale. A 4-inch pot, regularly $179, on sale $6 for $10. And the plumbagos.
Well, and those petunias are in my garden and in my containers on the patio and all the places I have planted. The petunias are all coming up throughout. Where I transplanted things like porterweed and begonias into containers and moved them into the greenhouse for protection in the summertime. Well, the petunias found their way into all those containers and the movement of soil that I had. So the petunias are doing their best to take over the anything in the full sun. But gosh, these petunias are some of the wave colors. If you are familiar with that, the really intense colors. And then the other thing I like about the wave is that it's kind of a special low.
Yeah, a horizontal or a very low angled growth habit, and they're fabulous for containers or hanging baskets.
Yeah, and they don't seem to be phased by as much by the sun as a lot of the other selections. So
yeah, that's a new breeding that actually does occur rather than the coleus. These petunias can really handle the heat. I'm having a little problem with English today. I don't know why.
Might be the weather.
Okay.
We'll blame it on the weather. Yes, petunias are on sale. Plumbagos on sale in a number 1, regularly $9.99, on sale for $8.88. Texas sage starting at $24.99, on sale 20% off.
Wow.
That is according to all varieties, or includes all varieties?
They listed a number of varieties.
Silver Star, Renegade, Green Cloud, and others. So
okay.
There's many more.
Now, the Green Cloud, as the name implies, the foliage is green as opposed to silver. However, I have found them to be very fast-growing and large. So if you have a sunny area and you want to hedge, you want to get Green Cloud. Now, it also has the purple flowers.
Yes.
But the foliage is going to be green. And the two things that I have found in the past is they will grow taller and they will grow faster. So, just a little something that I have seen in the past.
Yeah, no, this is if you're into native plants, that Texas sage is a really good choice. It's really an interesting plant because it does bloom as a predictor for rain. We would have gone through had an argument if Milton was still here. And you know, he had an intense belief. I think he was part of a secret society.
I think so.
Appreciation of Texas sage.
Secret cult, maybe. I don't know.
And but it is a great plant, and the deer don't eat it, and very drought tolerant. And but it does to get it to bloom and look best. You need it in full sun.
In full sun, yeah.
Yeah, one of the characteristics that we always had with it was that we'd have a gardener would say, "Why has my Texas sage quit blooming?" And it's in always been in full sun. And then we go back to show. They'd send us some photos, and well, it may have been in full sun 20 years ago, but it's now under the trees and growing, and it still has foliage, but it does not bloom much if it's got in shade. So it's got to be moved into the full sun. The other thing is, well, they don't look too bad, but they get a little leggy, of course,
yes,
when they're in the shade.
That accentuates it. So sometimes in the sun they'll get a little leggy. Well, that's easily corrected. So you're going to prune them back, or prune them all the way down to the ground and let them start over again.
If Milton was here, Milton would have said, "Well, it hasn't rained much in these last 7 years, so you can't blame it always on the shade because it's if there's no rain, and then not as much blooming, but from Texas sage. But actually, it has done some pretty good blooming, and we notice the bloom. Part of it is, I'm afraid, that a lot of other plants are not prospering in this really droughty hot weather, whereas Texas sage is capable of putting up with it and continues to take responsibility for predicting when the humidity's high and when we're going to get some rain, even if it's a skimpy rain. It's been blooming for this rain for sure.
We have one at the house. Usually it doesn't bloom until after it rains.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
what color is that? Do you know which variety it is?
The leaves are very silvery. But
Might be the one Mark was talking about.
But then when it blooms, it's,
What is
purple.
the one? Is
Well, the old one was Convento or Convent. Well, that was an old standby.
Yeah. The one that we've given a lot of attention to, I think, Lynn's
Legacy.
Legacy.
Now, I that's not one of my favorite colors. It's more of a periwinkle as opposed to a purple. But a lot of people like it.
Oh, yeah. What I really like about it is when it blooms, the hummingbirds find it and come in. And it always, salvias in general are really attract the pollinators, including the hummingbirds. So that's a good one. And then it's kind of neat to have some things in your landscape that are not always predictable. You suddenly, the Texas sage are blooming, and I've got 3 different varieties of them, and each has a different color leaf or a different color flower, and all of them are drought tolerant, and pests don't bother them. I've never seen insects eat them much, but they're pretty invincible, and it's a true, real desirable in terms of the characteristics of the native plant.
All right. Well, there's plenty of more things for sale here at Millburgers, but we'll talk about them more when we get back from our break. Give us a call at 210-308-8867. We'll be right back with Millburgers Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Millburgers Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Alex Escobar with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. And just as a quick reminder, Millburgers will be closed tomorrow for Easter on Sunday. And so our show will be a pre-recording tomorrow. So if you want to have a chance to call, today will be your only day this weekend. So 210-308-8867. The rain's still continuing to come down a good amount. That's always good news.
Well, it looks like, it kind of stopped for a while. Now it's back.
Picking back up.
Yeah. Now this would be a nice rain if it was like for
Give
48
me another,
hours.
Yeah. I said, even give me an hour. Just give me an hour.
Yeah.
But
Continue what we have on sale this week at Millburgers. We have Society Garlic is back on sale, and it's right here in front of us. Number one, regularly $9.99, on sale $8.88. We have citrus trees starting at $59.99.
yeah, I didn't look. See what we have available. Looks like we have a lot. I just don't know the varieties that we have.
Yeah, and they look good.
Yes, they do.
Somebody brought one up that had showed some symptoms of a leaf curling, and which is not unusual for citrus,
Right.
especially when the weather is changing. But when I look at them from here, it doesn't look like it was widespread as the customer thought it was.
So, yeah, it could be lots of things, lots of minor things. How about that? Mites or maybe a little virus. But it's really, you don't worry about it too much.
Well, what I quite often would see is I grow my Meyer lemon and the Mexican lime in containers, and they seem to be particularly sensitive to keeping up the relatively small reservoir. Mm-hmm. So your fertilization, you don't want to overwhelm with nutrients, but you want some of those minor nutrients and things like iron and things that they have a little problem as the weather changes. It goes hot, cold, a lot of rain, no rain. You'll get a bit of a leaf curl even from that. But as Mark and I discussed before, take your choice. There's some other, you can have some mites, some insects that might be involved. But the good news is that citrus usually recovers, especially if you're watching and careful about your applying a fertilizer to it, and a fertilizer that is sensitive to those kind of conditions. There's some special fertilizers for citrus, but also our Osmocote works great.
I did it this morning. I have a Satsuma in a large pot, and I put my Osmocote Plus on this morning.
How much do you use? They always provide you that little applicator.
Yeah, but this is the one that's kind of the shaker off the shelf that we have here. So I would tell everybody, it's a couple of shakes. Make sure that everything's covered.
I'm always inclined to do one of the
shakes. I remember that's the way we used to do that. Yeah. And I want to. Was it a tablespoon or a teaspoon? I can't remember.
Our colleague Jerry Parsons used to say, be generous, because it doesn't matter how much Osmocote you use, it's a positive impact.
Copious amounts,
Yeah.
Alex, was the phrase he used.
I never even thought about copious until Jerry started mentioning it. But then, after Jerry started mentioning it in terms of fertilizer, I see it all the time in my English murder mysteries. And
Copious amounts of
a lot of authors use that
blood?
word, copious.
So I figured it was going to be a good day, so I did my vegetables and some of my flowers.
Good idea.
With that this morning. And then I was getting worried it wasn't going to rain. So.
Well, we just needed to get on the radio, and that's when it was going to start raining.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now this is
a
wonderful. This is a
It's
wonderful
gonna be great.
rain right now.
We might need a canoe to get back to the car.
No. I don't think that. So I did go out there in the rain, and they weren't the red. They're blooming up storm. They weren't salvia gregae. They're salvia microphylla, which is
another salvia.
Yeah. Well,
unbelievable.
I think I added them up. I counted them up one time for a presentation. There's about 22 salvias that could be grown in the San Antonio area.
Well, and one of those that is really popular with all of us here, I think, is coccinia. That is got those red blooms and grows in the sun or shade, and it started blooming already. And boy, you talk about popular with the hummingbirds. That is very popular, and it's a perennial as far as I can tell. Yeah.
Or it's listed as a perennial. It may peter out if in deep shade after a few years, but it's listed as a perennial.
And boy, it does have a long bloom period. And it's quite often a part of every one of the wildflower mixes that you find from our partners in the that produce the wildflower mixes, Wild Seed Farms.
Native American Seed. It's in their mixes.
And Douglas King Seed Company.
Yeah.
All of those are good companies to deal with. They respond quickly when you order on the internet, and the high quality seed, and a lot of good information that they provide too. That especially like that catalog, that quarterly catalog that Native American Seed comes out with. Gosh, a lot of great information and about books available on the topics, and they're into native plants, so you can expect them to always have information about the milkweeds and the butterflies and native grasses. Check that out. Go if you're looking for in the rain. You're looking for something to go on the internet and go to one of those websites. Native American Seed Company or Douglas King Seed Company or Wild Seed Farms, and check out the information that's available. So great. Wow, this is perfect rain.
Yeah, this is. I'm just sitting here enjoying the rain.
If we had 4 hours of this, we would get.
It would be great.
Might get close to an inch, huh?
Yeah, we might get close to
dry.
Well, I was going to say coming back or make a big dent in the deficit.
Yes.
So, yeah, we're still under deficit, and we're under deficit for the last 6 years.
Well, and we only have to
7.
make up 40 feet in the aquifer.
Well, look, the Spurs broke their streak of not making the playoffs, so hopefully we can beat the streak with rain.
Oh, yeah.
Did you mention the Spurs?
I did mention the Spurs.
Oh, that's today at 2 o'clock.
Oh.
Our show is going to...
And right when they start.
I'm sure, though, that all of our gardener listeners will just listen to the end of our show and not
absolutely,
go to
yeah.
Spurs before.
They'll leave with us.
And then tonight, there's an excellent chance.
Right.
Another team from Michigan, not Michigan State, but another team from Michigan will be playing, and they'll hopefully go to the championship game.
And who are they playing, Illinois?
No, this team from Arizona.
Oh.
What do they know about basketball?
Okay, so there's still 4 teams in that.
There is still 4 teams as of today.
Well, and over in the women's tournament, I think it's UCLA and Connecticut.
Yeah. That's what that
always seems to be Connecticut.
It's Connecticut, and Ariama has some difficulties. There was at the end of the game there was some controversy. So I don't know too much about it. All I know is I saw a 3-minute feed on my Facebook.
It's a little strange to claim UCLA as a Big Ten team, but I guess it is now.
I know. There you go. I forgot all about it. Yeah, go Big Ten.
Everybody's everybody's.
It seems like everybody's in the Big Ten now.
Yeah,
from coast to coast, from Rutgers to UCLA.
We're inside 4 minutes. With this rain coming in, should we expect some grass and weeds to be growing?
Absolutely. With that little rain we had a few weeks ago, all of a sudden there was weeds galore. Some of our favorite ones, like that bed straw or cleavers.
That's right. And
some of the
rescue grass, annual bluegrass.
All started to come up, and some of the plantains, like dandelions, are in that family. So all of a sudden it just came up. So I would expect a lot more weeds.
Henbit.
Henbit, yes.
Chickweed. And even the thistle is coming.
Right.
Well,
yeah, so that's in the plantain family as well. The sow thistle and the other thistles.
It's amazing how quickly the weeds can respond. If this continues for just an hour, that should be enough to get the stimulate a lot of the weeds.
Don't say anything that jinx it. Just keep going, rain. And what was I going to say? Yeah, I can't remember.
Did you remember the foliage plant yet?
No. I'm going to ask somebody over here.
Yeah, I'm watching for Mary or Susan or one of them that has a better memory than we do.
A difference an hour makes. When we first started, there was a whole crowd walking around, and now it's just...
It's funny how that happens when the rain comes down, falling down.
But you know, I think they're inside.
I think so.
Yeah, because I still see some vehicles.
Yeah, I can see, and there's some people that are peeking out over here.
Yep,
a number of different people.
So if they still have questions, don't want to get wet, they can still call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867.
Well,
and hopefully some of them are looking at the seed racks inside there, and all of the. There's Mary.
Mary.
We need some technical assistance. We can't. Are you ready?
We're inside 1 minute, so let's see.
On a shade foliage plant, we're trying to think of what is the one that the bulbs that has. It has the leaf, the big leaf and different color leaves and shade. It grows in the shade.
Yeah.
Huh?
Palladium?
Hey,
Palladium.
Thank you. I knew she could remember.
Yes.
All right. KOUP, Terra Hill, San Antonio. Welcome back to Millburgers Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Alex Escobar here with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867.
Well, our fabulous IT crew came through.
Yes.
So what did you do?
Yeah, I know. What did you and Al do?
We figured something out. There was some power surges, internet issues, but we got back tried and true.
Solar flares, something like
flares.
that. Yeah.
This rain is a blessing and a curse. I'll say more of blessing, though.
There we go.
There we go. All right, but yes, give us a call, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867.
Yeah. So at the prior to the break, we were talking about what can we expect with this rainfall.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the pecans were a bit slow, and some of the live oaks were a bit slow coming out and leafing out. And I expect that process to speed up now.
Mark, sometimes we see an inclination for trees to fall over after it's been so dry, and then now suddenly the soil gets wet. I guess if that's a partial or penetration of moisture, or what is that?
So when the trees fail, this term we like to use, is largely due to the fact that the structure of the soil was actually holding up the trees, although their roots may have been in decline or dead. So the dry soil was actually holding up the tree, and as soon as the rain came, it expanded the soil or shifted the soil, and at that moment in time, those roots were no longer there, and so you had a tree failure.
And that's a disadvantage of having not much soil and having
it's
trees that aren't necessarily fit perfectly into the available
So that's
environment.
Always a problem with having an inappropriate species on limited soil.
Now, my bur oak looks wonderful right now. Is it going to be?
And as I always say with Calvin's bur oak, I always kind of raise my eyebrows and roll my eyes a little bit. It's not in the exact place that's beneficial for that particular tree. It likes prairie soil, but it seems to be doing really well over by. I think you have enough soil for it to grow and grow well.
I always was reading about how in some places the growth rate is pretty substantial, but mine did not grow very fast at all. I mean, for 25 years, it's kind of
right. And they should have prefaced all that by saying, in the first 4 to 6 years, a bur oak will hardly grow. It seems like it doesn't grow at all. Well, what it is doing is creating this huge root system. So it was known to be able to tolerate drought and fire on the Great Plains, and it was because it had this huge root system, and you've seen the really thick bark that it has. So that's adaptations to prairie fire.
It's got I really like the shape of bur oaks. Of course, the other thing, the Texas red oak and live oak, of course, are classic shapes too, very attractive, and add a lot of value to your property when they mature. And Texas red oak grows fast. The live oak kind of moderate. Bur oak depends on what the site is like, I think.
We are looking at different oaks, for different species. Chinkapin oak is one of my favorites, but we're also looking at Canby oak, a.k.a. Sierra red oak, and also loquat leaf oak. Loquat leaf oak, as its name
Where are
indicates.
you looking at those?
Well, we are looking at trying to increase the production of those for nurseries, and you wouldn't the gardeners wouldn't find those here at Millburgers yet. Not yet. And just to look a little information about their locale, they grow in the Monterey area, where the Monterey oak or Mexican live oak or Mexican white oak was found, but they grow at slightly lower elevations. And they have a really thick leaf that looks like a loquat leaf. And I found them, I was looking for them, but I found them in December over at Trinity University because everything else was defoliated, it had turned brown or dropped. Or had turned color rather, and or dropped. Here was these couple of trees that were emerald green in the middle of December, and I went, I could find them right off. Loquat leaf oak. So we're always looking for new oak species here in this area. It is an area which is broadly defined as the oak juniper biome. Which stretches all the way from Houston to California.
Now, I was noticing in my yard, I've got some big live oaks, some Texas red oak, and then my bur oak, of course. But I also have some live mesquite, big, very large. And I was thinking of that's not a classic mix of trees, but I guess it could have been 60 years ago when they started growing.
Mm-hmm.
So they and in that it's one of those things I guess I don't want to think about much. That great big mesquite that's going over the top of my house there next to that big live oak.
Yeah.
Which one's going to fall on it first?
I would put the money on the mesquite. However, I was just talking to somebody a week and a half ago from the Midwest. I can't remember whether it was Indiana or Illinois, and she really loved the mesquite in her front yard. And I said, I'm from Michigan too. I really like it because it has that weeping willow look. And she goes, exactly. That's the way I like to look at it, particularly in the spring. And she's absolutely right. It's that big mesquite, it kind of has this big weeping look to it, like a weeping willow. It's very attractive. And it's usually bright green, nice green foliage, and yellow flowers. It's a very pretty tree. I don't know why people hate it. Mostly Texans. I don't know why mostly Texans hate the mesquite.
Well, it's tough to have it prosper if you're into San Augustine lawn.
Yes.
But it is in terms of, in some ways, it accommodates lawn grass because it is not a real dense shade.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it does not does not prosper in as much water as is required for San Augustine grass to prosper.
Or fertilization.
Yeah.
It does not like fertilization. It is a legume, and legumes process nitrogen from the air, and the roots are able to process it and then have nitrogen in the soil. So too much nitrogen, they don't like it.
Barbecue restaurants really like it.
Yeah.
It is one of the three that we think of: pecan, mesquite, and live oak for your perfect barbecue. Mm-hmm. Now, those from East Texas would argue with me, but I'm going, you got to have mesquite.
Give us a call, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Some other things we have for sale here at Millburgers is fig trees starting at $49.99.
Yeah, they have Celeste, and that's one of my favorites.
Well, in the figs, I noticed mine today was the leaves are we've got some leaves that are nearly full size, and then we got lots of buds, but also there's starting to be some fruit buds on there on mine. So I take it that must be a Celeste, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that they smaller, but nicely shaped and very tasty.
Oh gosh, yes. And what an ability to deal with any conditions that come up. Let it be a drought, or let it be soggy, or let the cold weather come, and I'll adapt to it and still produce figs the next year. So, good choice. A lot of good choices, and a really kind of an interesting plant for your landscape too. And the kids love it, and the birds love it. And all the mammals you can have will love it, including the coyotes and the fox and possums and raccoons, squirrels. So it's it's got a really kind of a nice shape too. So I try to have a little mulch on it, but I'm kind of with you on the old 8 inches of mulch is a little too much.
Yeah. So even you see in the sources 2 to 4 inches, and I'm like, I can't put 2 to 4 inches of mulch on these trees or other shrubs and things like that.
Well, Mark,
way too much.
It decomposes pretty quickly here.
Yeah, it does.
In
the South, it rapidly decomposes. So, but that just gets me to add more on. If I limit it to 1.5 inches, I'll just continually add more mulch on.
Every year.
And usually we have a nice sale here at Millburgers, so I can do it quite often.
Yeah, it is. The bags of mulch. Oh, and they're, speaking of it, one of the sale items is the, is it an acidification, acid soil?
No, I think it's just, well, no, look, I don't even have the list on. I think it's just the 1959.
I have that someplace here.
Alex?
Yes. The Millburgers Premium Lawn and Garden Fertilizer, 1959.
We have the 1959.
40-pound bag, covers 7,600 square feet, only $49.99.
Here's Coco Loco. Oh, okay.
Coco Loco.
So that's an excellent product. It's
potting mix.
Yeah, it's frequently used as a substitute for sphagnum moss when that's short. But it's great. It works just as well as sphagnum.
It's regularly $29.99, on sale $24.88.
Well, you can probably get a second mortgage to buy if you want to buy a substantial amount of it.
Oh yeah.
So what is that used for then, Mark? Just as kind of a enrichment thing?
Yeah, it's in beds or containers. Originally, it was used in hanging baskets. So instead of potting soil, you'd put that in there, maybe some potting soil and on that, but it would hold moisture in either a neutral or slightly acidic fashion. Also, for folks, it is who may have seen this, it is also used in retention of erosion. So you see this big, long, looks like a big, long sausage casing in front of grates or on a hillside. That's also Coco Loco.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of it before.
First I've heard of it, too.
It goes under different names. But
I thought we were selling coconut trees for a bit.
No.
No.
It's a fibrous material.
All right. Well, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back with Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 8867.
I do feel for the people down in Breckenridge Park and other parks around the city, those who are camping out.
Yes.
I do feel sorry for them.
Oh, but it'll be interesting stories for the kids.
The kids will have those stories for a long time.
They're all in. I can just see them now in the tent peeking out, and although it's unfortunately there's so many situations in the world where it's not a pleasant situation where they're peeking out of tents, but you make the best of it. You can, and hopefully things will improve in all over the world.
Well, what was the topic of your article today, sir?
The topic of my article today was, I have to look to be reminded.
Oh, something about the lawn.
Oh, turf grass.
Yeah. Says spring the season to spruce up the lawn.
That's right. And one of the main points I make is hesitate. And I'm sure the management of Millburgers gets the shakes when I say this. But before you buy all new sod for your lawn, make sure you assess the situation and that your situation will support lawn grass. We've over the years now, a lot of landscapes, the shade trees have matured, and the shade is pretty dense. And the reason that lawn grass, the particular lawn, has not prospered may be shade, but it also could be the water and the heat we've had and compacted soil and not much soil. So those are all kinds of, before you buy your new sod and apply it, make sure you assess all those factors because it doesn't matter. You can keep, I guess you could keep doing this every other year on which there's not much future in that.
Yeah, if you have the time and the resources, you could every third year replace your entire lawn with sod. But I wouldn't recommend it
because there's some really desirable options other than new lawn grass. When what we're talking about is that even San Augustine grass, our more shade-tolerant grass, takes at least 6 hours of sun a day for it to prosper. And the other grasses need even more. The zoysia grass, some people get the impression that zoysia grass is very shade-tolerant. So
I don't know where they came from. Sometimes they say the dealer told them that, and I'm like, no, actually no. It's 8 hours it needs. So, but we don't say that here at Millburgers.
Now I had
we're principled over
one
here.
house I had zoysia grass, and it's a wonderful grass.
Oh yeah,
but it does require sun, and it's very shade tolerant. I mean it's not shade tolerant, but it's drought tolerant. Mm-hmm. It's just like Bermuda grass. It can go dormant. Dormant, maybe not the best term, but it can go. Growth rate can slow down and go near dormancy when water's not available, and then recovers when the rains start again, or when the drought restrictions are lifted.
Calvin, I don't mean to cut you. We have two callers on.
Oh, wow.
On the hold.
Oh, yeah.
So 210-308-8867. We have John on the line. John, how are we doing today?
Great, guys. How are y'all doing today?
All doing wonderful.
We love the rain.
Yes.
Enjoying the rain. Yeah, loving the rain. Hey, I have a
Yeah.
question about pecan trees. I have one that's grown from a seedling, and I had my first crop of fruit last year, finally. But I was disappointed in the fact that the fruit that it bared was probably the size of the end of my thumb, and that's not what I was hoping for. And I was wondering about pecan tree grafting. Where would you acquire the grafting piece that you would, and is there any resources to teach you how to do that?
Well, there's a lot of answers to that. Was this the first year it had fruit?
Yes, sir. Last year was the first year it had fruit.
Don't be too impatient with it, because quite often that first year is not the best. And in the weather, the way the weather has been, and the rainfall, that may have been part of the issue on the small pecans too. But
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The answer
be patient with it.
I was going to say, be patient with it. That's about the size. You said it's from a seedling. Was this from a native?
Yes. This was actually by mistake. It came in the middle of some monkey grass, and I never messed with it and let it grow, and it's now 30 feet tall, probably.
Wow!
And so I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what kind of variety it was. It just came up.
Well, so that's good to know. There's lots of resources out there on the internet. Larry Stein always did a grafting seminar at Phoenix. I think that may have already passed. I think he usually does it in February or March.
Okay.
But Dr. Larry Stein is the expert on grafting and how to do it. And so he may have, or other nurseries may have, the sign wood for you to use. However, when you said 30 feet, that's a little difficult. Usually we do it at 5 feet.
Yeah. No.
The size that you mentioned, it's about the size of a native pecan. They don't tend to be large, but I find that their meat is just as sweet. The trouble is getting into them. There is a reason why we grow paper shell pecans for the commercial market. The native pecans tend to have a hard shell, and when you get into them, I have them in my neighborhood. When you can get into them and crack them, the meat is very delicious. There's not a whole lot of it sometimes.
How did you water it? Did you get, or did it just come naturally?
It just came naturally. Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
I didn't maintain it like probably I could have, but it's always been hardy, and I can certainly just be patient with it.
Yeah, officially, pecans through some court cases it was, in a lot of science, it was determined that they take about 2 inches of water per week during our summers to prosper and produce the large fruit. So, you might, one of the decisions you have to make: are you going to try to give it supplementary water, or are you going to just put up with the product? And then on wet years, you probably get a pretty good crop, and other years you may not.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, that gives me a lot to go on, guys. It's been very, very helpful. We appreciate what you guys do.
But Larry Stein, class Mark talked about, Larry Stein's class is really good, and a lot of good information about pecans, too. So you might want to explore. We'll try to make sure we mention the next time it's scheduled.
And he may have videotaped it now. There's always new technologies involved, so it may be on the internet somewhere. Him teaching the class.
I've got it written down. I'll take a look. I appreciate it, fellas. Have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Good question.
All right, 210-308-8867. We got Bert on the line. Bert, how's it going?
I'm enjoying the rain also.
Oh, it's lovely.
Yes, it is continuing to continue to rain. I said, I'd like it just for an hour, but now I'm getting greedy. I want it for 4 hours.
I'm with you.
I'm the same way. It's like yesterday the ground was concrete. Today the ground is spongy.
Well, I was disappointed. The rain was just for a short period, but it looked substantial. But the minute I started digging in things, at the most it had penetrated like 1.5 inches in the soil. So it was kind of heartbreaking.
Well, I have a question for you all about the rain gathering. Okay, I keep a saucer the size of a small plate outside. How is that a good gauge of how much rainfall that I've actually had?
Well,
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I am sitting here stalling for time to try to remember what the official NOAA measurements are. I swore it was a foot wide bucket, but I may be wrong. So, and it stands out in an open field, and you got to have so much distance between anything else, and da 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 da.
Yeah, I know.
But we on our weather station
specifications on it.
Yeah, on our weather station that we use saws use that I administered. The throat of the collection bucket was just 1.5 inches square, so literally small. So, but it's all relative calculation on what the collection will be.
And I wanted to say to John, it's like, okay, don't be angry at this pecan tree, first off.
Well, it sounded like that pecan tree has grown very, very well with minimal care. So, yes, bless it and thank God and nature.
Well, when you think he mentioned mondo grass, if it's prospered, I was thinking, is it in an area where they might have some substantial soil?
Yeah. Shade to get it going initially. That would protect it against drought and too much heat. And then,
And also to keep mondo grass alive, almost seems like you'd have to water.
Yeah.
Well, you have to. You gotta. But I'm with Mark. With you, I'm on that about. I don't like the paper thin pecans at all. I like the ones that are hard not to crack because the meat is sweeter.
Right. And that's off the trees in my neighborhood. None of them are paper shell improved, air quote, improved varieties. They're all native.
Well, we all think we can tell nature what to do better, but sometimes nature says, "Nope, shut up."
I think I misspoke on the mondo grass because there's been if you've got a fairly good soil, it does real well without not nearly as much water as a lawn.
It's one of our recommended ground covers. For that reason, I like it. It's it's restrained, as what you and I say, in its growth, and it's excellent for a ground cover in a shady area.
It's tough to do any golf putting.
Oh, well, yeah, but you don't want to do that in that
And
area.
this is like, this is what I would also say to people. It's like, look, when it's excuse me, I got the hiccups.
I'm sorry.
When it's raining, that's all right. No, it's all right. I love people to laugh. When it's raining, go take a walk in your yard and see how everything flows.
Yeah, you should have seen the customers here in the rain. They're not. Most of them are under the roofs now, but for a while there, everybody was out there enjoying the rain. But after about 10 minutes or 15 minutes, it was getting a little cool, I think.
Yeah.
It is very cool out there because when I came in, I was just out. I took my T-shirt off just to go see and feel the temperature of the air. And I was just like, yes, thank you for the coolness, too.
Yeah.
And I wish more people would appreciate it because remember what's going to happen in July and September around here.
Sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you for thank you. How's that?
Yes.
Thank you.
There you go. I appreciate that.
Thank you. And happy.
Thank the Lord.
Yes. 210-308.
I believe that too. Look, if you're gonna appreciate the trees, you definitely gotta appreciate your creator.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Bert.
All
right, we're gonna.
You got another customer?
No, we're gonna take a break right now.
Oh.
We'll be right back with Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Alex Escobar, Dr. Calvin Finch, and Mark Peterson. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. We have James on the line. James, how are we doing today?
Good. Just waiting on the rain. According to the radar, it's about 2 streets away. But it seems to have stalled, so I hope it pushes through. Hey, to help Bert out, on the official rain gauge, I'm on the weather.gov, and I wanted to confirm because one was given to me by the manager at the Pleasanton Airport years ago. It has a funnel. It has a 4-inch wide, if you will, opening that goes.
How big?
And is
how big?
4 inches.
Okay.
4. And then it goes into a funnel down into a tube, and it measures down to increments 1/100th of an inch. Yes.
Yeah.
But mine is dry right now. Hopefully to be wet shortly.
Well,
anyway, I got a question on my.
I'm sorry to hear that because we've experienced rain for a good hour or so.
Yeah, I've been watching the radar.
I kind of missed the beginning of this. What is this?
So James, he lives down in Lytle area, and he hasn't had any rain yet.
Really? Well,
No.
usually
No.
he brings it to our attention that he got more rain than we did.
I've got 0. I'm looking to the north, and it's dark, but it seems to have stalled, and I hope that's a temporary stall because it's just been sitting a mile or so north of me. It's that far for a good hour, it seems like. Yeah.
Well, Mark and I have talked about, that, you know, it was a number of years ago that we were involved in this, trying to determine exactly how much water it would take for lawns and things, and it seems like to me that back then the rainfall was a wider, more general kind of. You could draw some conclusions based on a limited test, and it would be pretty consistent and accurate for a large area. But lately, in the last few years, it seems like it's really an erratic situation in terms of rainfall, and then 10 miles away, the rainfall is completely different. Mark, is
Okay,
I'm just imagining that?
Yeah. We used to say it. Folks would say, "Well, it rained over my house, but it didn't rain over at so and so's house," and vice versa. And I said, "Well, over the year, it all measures out. It's covered. But
Evens
sometimes lately, boy, howdy, it's not been measuring all out."
Wow. Okay, I just poked my head out the door and feel the cool air, and it is starting to hit my tin patio cover. So it's here. That I'm looking at the clouds moving, the low clouds moving from the north to the south. They are trucking. They are moving. So it's pushing through here. But anyway,
James, give us credit. We did a little dance here, the rain dance to bring that rain into your area.
Okay, well, I appreciate it because it's
although
here.
It looks like our rain is stopping. Maybe we blundered here.
You blew it this way.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if y'all can hear that, but it's thundering pretty good up in the distance. My Celeste fig. I have a question for y'all. It's planted about a year ago on the ground, and is this normal or abnormal? The stems, it's multi-trunked or multi-stemmed. It only has leaves on the end of those stems, but not along the stems. The stems themselves from the ground to the top are bare. Is that normal? Is that how they grow?
What is it? What kind of?
So it's a Celeste fig, and James is saying that there's only leaves on the end of it.
Yeah. Each of the stems is like has a pom-pom on the top, or a cluster of leaves, and they're all green and lush, but all the stems, there are no leaves along the stem. Zero.
How much shade is there?
Is there
a lot of big trees around it?
There is one, but it's positioned to where it gets sun from sun up to about, depending on time of year, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I would guess. It depends on time of year. Later in the year, it gets a good amount of sun. It just gets afternoon shade.
Well,
afternoon shade.
I think that's part of it. The other thing is I try to take out some of those stems that are, so every year, a little like the pomegranates, take out some of the stems that are to kind of open up the plant a bit. Because if you got old stems and they're shaded by their other branches in the fig, you're going to see a lot of that too. So you want to open it up a bit.
So take out the ones in the center, like you would prune a rose or a peach or something like that.
Well,
open up the middle, or just all the way around.
If you got 10 stems coming up from the middle, you might take out 3 or 4 of them, the oldest ones.
Okay. Well, it's like a vase shape or V shape. It doesn't really have any stems per se in the middle. They're growing say you prune a hybrid tea rose. That's kind of how it's shaped. The stems are on the perimeter of the plant, all the way around. Seems like it just grew naturally that way. Yeah.
I would say that's not totally unusual. So in my mind, if I took the total height of the plant, I may have leaves a third of the way from the top, a third to half, so that there wouldn't be any bottom leaves, but you should have more than what you're seeing at the very ends of the leaves. And so I would say, hey, wait, patience, and I think you will see more more leaves further on down the stem. But if you want to thin it out a little bit, you'd take out a few stems here or there. But so I understand what you're saying. It's kind of almost like a single trunk where it's all coming out from a very small area.
Well,
it's coming out like a vase.
And you're right. It's not the figs are not like a pomegranate. I mean, you don't have a classic 20 stems coming up, and you can take 5 of those or 6 of them out. You do have a lot of the kind of horizontal branching, so you can be fisted. But I would also be surprised if some of that shade that you talk about is not affecting the. Has the production been good?
Well, it only had one crop, a partial crop last year, and I picked. It wasn't a whole lot of figs. I don't remember, but they were delicious. And I'm hoping it puts on a full crop this year. That's what I'm hoping. But I was kind of concerned about it not having it. Maybe, possibly not having enough foliage. But maybe this is what it's supposed to do. How tall will these Celeste get if you just let them go? Generally.
I don't know, because most of them I see people have cut down the tallest ones. I'm going to say they probably could get to 12 feet.
Oh gosh, at least, yeah. I was thinking more like 15.
Okay.
But
well, that'll be a challenge to harvest. So what height should I maintain it at? Since it's probably sandy soil. So it's right now, I'm looking at it from a distance. It's probably about 4 feet tall. That's the tallest stems right now.
Boy, that
you got away.
Sandy soil is a factor in there too. Probably
maybe
if you can't water it.
Yeah. So here's the rule of thumb.
Water's not an issue.
You got
plenty of.
I was going to say
water's right next to it.
We're getting near the end, but here's your rule of thumb regarding figs. Every year, you take out the tallest third of the stems. Now,
third.
This is usually when, just like Calvin was talking about, is when it's in a big clump like that. So you look at the tallest thirds and you cut them right down to the ground. And that over time. Late February. So beforehand.
Okay, before it leaches out. Okay, gotcha. All right.
So over time, what that does is it kind of unifies the top of it.
Gotcha.
So so by the third, fourth year, you have removed all the stems, and you got new stems coming up.
New ones. Okay. So I'll wait and do that next late winter. Take out the third.
4 feet. I wouldn't worry about it. No. Yeah.
Alex has got one more.
All right. Happy Easter. I'll let y'all go.
Thank you. Same to you.
All right, we're inside 4 minutes. 210-308-8867. We have Beth on the line. Beth, thank you for holding.
Calvin, I wanted to tell Calvin that I appreciated his information about the big trees falling over. Several months ago, I had talked to y'all about a China berry tree that I have that is a true umbrella China, and it had fallen over just in the description that you described. But anyway, as I've observed it throughout the years, and it's putting a new growth, and it looks like it's trying to still establish its umbrella configuration. Real interesting. So, and then also, I was glad you mentioned about bur oaks, because I have a couple that have just been sitting there, and so I'm going to be looking forward to new growth after this rain. The third thing, I had called about willow oak on my yard some years ago, and I noticed on the map out near Hausman and Babcock there is a street named Willow Oak. So evidently there's some growing out in that area. It's kind of like in the UTSA property. So that was another thing that your conversation reminded me of. Now, one last thing, though. Now, my cat is really protesting all of this pollen. All of her places where she would dust, in the little bit of black dirt, it's all messed up, and all of the lawn furniture where she could sit in sun has all of that stinky yellow stuff on it. So I'll just stay inside. I'll just stay inside till this is all over. So,
Oh, yes.
But she didn't. At least she's not blaming you, is she?
No, she isn't. But anyway, it's interesting how different things are affected by the weather. And I appreciate your comment, Calvin, about us celebrating, still thinking about what's happening, around us and everything. Be thankful. So, and I always appreciate when y'all are talking about the trees, because I've tried to plant species of all the different ones that I'm familiar with in northwest Bear County on my property and leave it kind of a nature, not preserve exactly. But it's just interesting hearing y'all talk about the trees and everything. Thank you.
All right. Well, it's always interesting hearing from you.
Yeah.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter
Happy
to you.
Easter, everybody. Thank you for listening to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Just a reminder, tomorrow's show is pre-recorded as Millburgers is closed. We appreciate you. Happy Easter. We will see you next time.